My name is Jerry Cooney.
This is Danny Aiello.
This is Tony Sirico from The Sopranos.
And this is
Ring Fever, where the fans are the stars.
You're watching Ring Fever. There is no cure.
Is that it? Oh, a big left hook on Shelby.
You're the driving force behind this. You allow us to go into so many people's lives and help people that desperately need help. Maybe you're in a situation in life where you have something difficult. You've been dealt maybe a tough hand.
Well, Teddy is a great guy.
He's a great guy.
He is forever fighting for the kid that struggles.
He takes care of children, someone who needs a wheelchair, who needs a ride somewhere.
I've been here 5 years, and I'll be here another 5.
He's saint-like. Apparently, he's following the footsteps of his father.
He's the real deal. If I turn anybody down, it's not going to be Teddy.
You have been putting money towards Timmy Kelly's college tuition fund for a few years now. So, if you don't already have a kid in college, you sure do now. We got 40 celebrities here. What's a celebrity? They're people that take the time to come out to help other people because they know they can.
She was in Buenos Aires earlier today. Giada Colagrande, the GM of the New York Yankees, Brian Cashman. Ladies and gentlemen, Rick Cerrone. From The Sopranos, Dominic Chianese, a legendary figure in the world of boxing, Lou Duva. From The Sopranos, he comes out every year. Let's hear it. Tony Sirico. Gentleman, Jerry Cooney. He came all the way from Buenos Aires today to be here and make it for Teddy's dinner. Willem Dafoe.
And we can continue doing the work that you people allow us to do. I appreciate the hell out of all of you so much. I don't know if you're ever going to understand to what degree I truly do. We have a little girl about 2 years old, and a few months ago she lost her eye, and you guys are buying her a prosthetic eye. You allow us to buy handicap ramps. You bought hundreds of them over the 15 years, where children can get outside now that are crippled and they couldn't get outside. All senior citizens can get outside now. You buy the wheelchair where the insurance doesn't pay for the wheelchair. You pay for the medication when the insurance doesn't pay for the medication.
I watched you for many years. I watched you commentate, I watched you host, I watched you train. Your name is synonymous with boxing. What you're doing for these people and with the support system you have is God's work.
Well,
I want you to elaborate, talk to me.
No, I had a father that practiced medicine, general practitioner for 55 years. And you know, sometimes people, they get towards the end of their life and they start thinking, hey, maybe there's something to that story that someone has a key to a gate up there that not everyone gets in. And maybe they start living a little differently towards the end of their life. But my father lived a certain way for his whole life. And I just figured that if for 55 years you are able to take care of people and not just distribute medication and not just look at x-rays and do diagnosis, but also care about people, also make sure that it had nothing to do with what they could afford to give. It had to do with whether or not they were sick, whether or not they needed help. And I figured if a guy did that for 55 years, you know what? He wasn't just thinking about the end of his life where maybe there was someone with a key. He actually believed in living that way. And I thought a guy that was that committed to that kind of life and that kind of behavior should be remembered. So I said, what's a better way to remember him than to start a foundation and do house calls? I wanted not only to remember him for myself, but I kind of wanted people to realize that, you know, if you live a pretty good life, you're remembered. Right. And I kind of tell people that if you are remembered, whether it's remembered by a kid, remembered by whatever.
Look at the love for you tonight.
Well, no, I appreciate the heck out of these people.
I know.
They're here every year, and they trust me to go and get their support, their resources to the right places. I appreciate that trust, and I appreciate the support. It's not me. Like I said in my words up on the dais,
I saw that.
It's not me. It's all these people that allow me to go out there and be able to be there for people on the behalf of a lot of hundreds and thousands of people that care about people. I can't do it without help. And I can't do it without people that care about these things. That like for example, Willem Dafoe flew in for Buenos Aires.
Right.
And he didn't have to do that, but he started thinking about it. I kind of called him from Russia, and I was a little disappointed he wasn't going to be here. And he called my wife, and he said, Teddy's disappointed. And he said, can I have his phone number? So he called me in Russia. And he said, Teddy, I'm filming this movie. I can't get out of it. I said, okay. And then next thing I know, my wife calls me back a week later and said, he's getting out of it. And it's not because of me. It's because it just reminded him. Sometimes people just need to be reminded of how powerful they can be and what a difference they can make in someone's life. And it just reminded him that by him coming here, making that effort, and it was definitely an effort, but he could do it. And it would affect people. It would get people to come. It would get people to give. It would help us affect other people's lives. And again, I couldn't move him if those things didn't matter to him. And they mattered to him. He just had to remember that he could do that. He had to remember that he had the ability to actually affect people's lives.
That's right. Well, you did it with all your fighters. You always had that conviction. You always pushed everybody to another limit. In other words, when you think you're down,
but you can't push someone who don't want to be pushed.
That's true.
And the point I'm making here is all these people here in the room, Willem Dafoe. Look, Brandon Jacobs from the Giants had practice today. He's got a game Sunday, but he still can't. Now look,
but it shows
he could have said, I'm too tired, and nobody would have argued with him. He could have said, I got to go home. No one would have argued with him. He could have said, I get paid a lot of money to be prepared for Sunday, and no one would argue. But he could also come and still be okay. He could come. He didn't have to, but he could. And that's the part. He realized he could, and he realized why he wanted to, because he knew that it would make a difference. It would help us raise a little bit more money to impact people's lives. And because of that, he found a way to do it. A lot of these people, they've been saddled with diseases. They've been saddled with all kinds of tragic situations, and they need a little help. And these people realize, as bad as their situations are, they can get through it, and the other people can't. So they make a decision. Okay, I'll put aside the thoughts of how tough my situation is, and I'm going to go and help somebody else.
Well, you're moving mountains here, and you got a great support system. I want to thank you personally to even be here, to interview you, because I was really touched. And I'm watching everybody. There's a genuine love. There's a passion and a conviction for what you're doing, and that's what I'm very impressed with, and I commend you for that.
Well, you know what? Thank you for recognizing those things, the tiny, tiny bit I had to do with it, but thank you for caring about those things.
Absolutely. Thank you. Go to your family, your friends, and God bless you, man. That's all I can say. Teddy Atlas. Thank you.
You guys really are champions. To be here for 15 years and to go through all that you go through, to carry this foundation, to care about people the way that you care about people. You allow us to get people from point A to point B, from a bad place to a better place.